Good to see you. Glad we're here. Let's begin. So we'll connect to our breath, just gently rooting down, reaching down. And intentional, it's an attentional downward shift. And the skull bones, it's a slight intentional reach, a slight attentional expansion through the skull bones. And learn if you can feel your breath in that slightly expanded space of your body, tail to skull, ground to sky. We'll start in a very general way with the hands. General, just because we'll be taking 4 digits at a time. I'm placing my finger pads, 4 of them, on the ground, so fingers are pointing at my body, palms, thumb are facing away from my body. Just creating a light traction, the skin, the fascia, the area around the palm heel. Just getting a light stretch and connecting to breath. And as those 4 fingers remain tacked down, gently stretch the thumb tip away from the palm. Softening around the hip crease. And release. We'll do 4 rounds of Brahmari. So Brahmari, inhaling, keeping the lips gently closed and letting the sound help us grow ever more feelingly aware of our body. Mm-hmm. Resume Ujjayi breath. We'll set our right leg out straightened. And for now, the left leg bent, heel near groin, knees set widely. I'm going to take this left leg through a tour. So this is the beginning. We'll start with a seated spinal twist. Inhale, feel the ribs telescoping away from the hips. Exhaling, right hand reaches toward left thigh. So we're still upright. And the left hand either to the ground, or you could grab a hold of your straightened right thigh. Now, as you're organizing the right leg, can you feel the right sit bone on the ground? If you can feel the right sit bone on the ground, can you feel breath where you feel the right sit bone on the ground? Now, my left hand is kind of nestled right up on a lot of my right hip muscle. So you could use that to your advantage. You could kind of nudge the right muscle, the right hip downward to help you feel that contact. Not only that, it can kind of uncluster the right side of the back. Leaving the left hand connected. You're going to let that right hand go. Inhaling, lengthening now chest in the direction of the right leg. Exhaling, I'll set that right hand down wherever supportive. So as my left hand helps draw my left shoulder back, my right hand can help pull my chest forward. And release. Inhale, let the left hand go, bring the trunk upright. Now bring the left foot, left sole of foot to the ground. Now here I do adjust my pelvis a little bit. So my pelvis is as if pointing forward or pointing in the direction of my right leg. Okay. Inhale, reach up with the left arm. And now exhaling, hinging forward. So I'm really trying to go for hinge instead of round. And I'm getting this left arm to nudge back against the left shin like a Mariachasana. I can grab the fingertips if I like. I could also just leave this as a left arm nudges left shin, and it just leverages my trunk forward. Use the arms, kind of drawing the shoulders back away from the neck. So I'm using my arms to kind of push against the left shin. And release. And inhaling, we'll come upright. Now one more position for this left leg. I'm going to take the inner leg down to the ground. So like a half Varasana. So I'm also placing the top of the left foot on the ground. Okay. Now this is where, if your ankle or your knee feels a little tight, this may be where we put some elevation under the hips. Okay. Secondly, I'm bringing the inner thighs together. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. And expanding breaths reach into the low back, into the hips. We'll be moving our hips through some varied positions, learning and feeling how do we explore our breath, the breathingness of the pelvis, and the sacrum around the hip bones and the abdomen. And we'll release from this side. Then do those 3 moves on the other side. So first, just straighten the left leg. Bring the right heel in near groin, knees wide. We'll start with a seated spinal twist, so we remain quite vertical. As we move into the twist, exhaling, we're turning to our right. So I use my left hand on my right thigh. And then you could use your right hand on the ground or reaching behind to grab the thigh. Now, with my right hand behind me, I do have access to kind of nudging the left butt down. I'm letting my right hand remain connected behind my back. I'll let that left hand go. Inhale it up. And exhaling, reaching, lengthening my trunk toward my straightened left leg. We'll just set that left hand down, any old place. Let the left arm help lift. Let me say that again. Let the right arm help lift the right side of your chest toward the sky. If I can feel my chest lifting toward the sky, I can often feel the rotation, the turning of the rib cage and the spine. And release the hand, sitting at Mariachasana. Inhaling, unwind. Stand the sole of the foot on the ground. Change the pelvis a little bit so my hips face the left leg, and exhale, fold. Right arm moves in front of this right leg. You could do the interlock also, the bind. And when we release, I will set this right shin, this right top of foot to the ground like a half Virasana. Now again, if your hips are uneven or one's away from the ground, get a little something under each. So both sit bones can rest on the ground. Some of us will feel this as a great deal of stretch in the ankles, some of us the knee. Just elevate the hips until it's a workable scenario. And then 2, bring the inner thighs or kind of start to roll, get those inner legs involved as we're exhaling into a forward fold. So you might be able to squeeze the inner legs toward each other. You might just feel a slight engagement. And when we release, we'll unwind the legs from there. We'll lie back. We're going to start right off with something between our thighs. We're going to stay with the inner legs. So grab your roll or your block, whatever you're enjoying using between legs, and we'll reach the legs toward the sky. The spine is on the ground, the legs are vertical. We'll interlace hands behind the head, and let's begin. Inhale into low back. So again, feeling how the breath reaches the sacrum, the small of the back, low belly, squeeze the object. Now feel where the tailbone is. And just by sensing where the tailbone is, you may feel the back of your pelvic floor kind of engage. Exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Draw the low belly down. Now follow the low belly all the way to the pubic bone, beyond the pubic bone. Inhale, set the head down. I know I say belly, but sometimes the words don't refer to everything, right? Reach way, way down from our low belly to feel as deep into the core as we can. Squeeze the object, exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. And as you're exhaling, feel between the hips. As you're gathering, track that gathering sensation down toward the pubic bone. Can you track that gathering sensation behind the pubic bones? Inhale, set the head down, easing up. Squeeze the object. Exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. As you're drawing the belly down, follow the sensation. Inhale, set the head down. Let's do 4 more on our own. And then remain lying. We'll do some rounds of Uddiyana from lying. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. This is a familiar figure 4 or pigeon-like setup. Grab a hold of your left shin with both hands. You could use a strap if you need. Flex the right foot pretty strongly. And when we're doing this round of Uddiyana, you may feel that it's a little bit, it's nicer to do with one hand holding your shin, one hand holding the back of your head, and doing this a little bit like our abdominal series that lets you engage the front side of your body and bring your chin a little closer to your sternum. Okay, so you could leave your head on the ground, and I'll talk through. My left hand is on my shin, my right hand is on the back of my head. Inhale into the low belly. Low back, keeping the right foot active. Exhale everything out. And you can do this rather swiftly. As you start to draw the belly in, some of you will find distinct benefit by carefully lifting the head up with the right hand. So drawing the belly in, just like our Uddiyana. Drawing the belly in. Drawing the belly in. Releasing your abdomen when you need to breathe. And we'll do 2 per side. So staying with this pigeon variation. Now you'll have to decide if you like the head down for these Uddiyana or if you need to pick the head up. I feel like I get into very different parts of my abdomen and my back with the head up, with the head down. So here's our second round for the right side. Inhale into the low back and swiftly exhale. Remain empty. You might draw the chin toward the sternum a bit, drawing the belly in and back and up. And when you release the belly, just let the feet go as well. We'll switch sides, so across the left ankle over the right thigh. Okay. So again, I'm going to let you choose. Maybe you like both hands on your right shin. Maybe you're deciding that for your neck, for your throat area, you want to have one hand behind your head. Inhale into the low belly, the low back. Exhale swiftly, everything out. Remain empty. Draw the belly in, back toward the spine. And we'll do a final round, second one on our second side. So when you're ready, continue to complete. Finishing up our 4th round Uddiyana. Holding our left leg in a pigeon variation. Right, and then we'll release. And let's turn to a side so we can press to our elbows and our knees. So if we got to play this weekend, we did a version of downward dog that put one leg in half lotus. I'm going to set us up for right leg in half lotus, dolphin. If that feels a little too awkward or you're not seeing things well with our angles, just we'll be setting up dolphin. Okay? So from my hands and my knees, I'm going to preset my right ankle in front of my left thigh. My knee's actually on the ground right now. Now I set my elbows down to the ground and the forearms down. I'm setting up for a dolphin. So you can do this with or without this half lotus configuration. Curl the back toes under. Inhale, pushing the ground. Exhale, press the knees off the ground. Dolphin or dolphin, right leg in half lotus. So if you don't love the feeling of half lotus for your knees or your legs, you simply slide the foot down and resume taking dolphin. All right, I'm going to slip that right leg down, set the knees down. Yeah, still working dolphin, but for the half lotus of us, I'm going to set up the other side. So I bring my left ankle in front of my right thigh. Then I set the elbows down again, the forearms down again. Curling the back toes under. Moving on exhale. Press right back up into dolphin. And we'll slip that foot down, set the knees down, exiting dolphin altogether. And let's move to standing at the top of our mat. Moving through suns. Inhale, reaching arms up. You can straighten and contract the muscles of your legs just to kind of ring and move and press and squeeze. Exhale, fold forward, softening through the neck, the eyes. Inhale, step the left foot back, lunge. We'll set the knee down. Place hands down, exhale, step right foot back. And we'll lower all the way down. Cobra, inhale. Exhale, lower downward dog. Lunge, inhale, left foot forward. Hands to ground, exhale, step right foot forward, fold. Again, softening throat, eyes. Inhale, stand, reach arms overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart. We'll do another. Inhale, reaching arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back, lunge. Hands to ground, exhale, left foot back, and we lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right foot forward, lunge. Hands to ground, exhale, left foot forward, fold. Inhale, stand, reaching arms overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart. We'll do two more. I'll talk through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back, lunge. Hands to ground, exhale, chaturanga, we step back, we lower. Inhale, cobra, stretch the legs back. Exhaling, downward dog, lowering, resetting hands, pressing back. Left leg, inhale, left foot forward for lunge, setting the right knee down. Hands to ground, exhale, step that right foot forward, fold, and softening the eyes. Inhale, stand, reaching arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. All right, let's do one more without my, my prompts. So you can go your speed, begin. Good. I'm just getting a block nearby for the next bit. Chair pose. Inhale, bend knees, reaching arms up. Exhale, fold. Monkey. Inhale, lifting collar away from lap. Exhale, step or lightly jump feet back, chaturanga. And so now if you're warm sufficient, inhale, upward dog. Pressing those tops of feet down. Exhaling, downward dog. Now let's remain in downward dog for 3 additional breaths. 1, to relax the back of the neck. 2, to reach out through the arms, broadening the upper back. Good. Warrior 1. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Drawing the arms up. And just like we did yesterday, exhaling, it'll reach vibrantly through that left leg. Engaging the top of the leg, which the quad, the muscles above the knee. So the leg is, I'm muscularly working it as I'm stretching, reaching the heel toward the earth. And I continue to test that as I keep deepening into the warrior, bending the right knee. Now, these next couple of breaths in our warrior one, learn if you can feel the lift, the motion, the upper back away from the mid back. You're starting to bring that bit of arc. It's a teeny bit of back bend into the middle and the upper back. It's different than the low back. Use those arms, not only lift up, reach the arms slightly back. That'll help engage all those muscles around the shoulder blades. So by drawing the arms to that space behind you, you'll get some more back activation. So not just up and just a micro arch back. That's it. There it is. All right, here's half moon. Inhale now, set the right hand down. Block can be helpful. Hand goes outside and in front of the right foot. This is we elevate left foot. Exhaling, reach back through the left foot. Now, how we reach may determine what we're biasing or perceiving. If I press through the forefoot, the ball mounds, I could bias the front of my left leg, the front of my hip and abdominal area. If I reach through the heel, I emphasize a different part, the muscles around the sacrum and the butt and the back. All right, inhale, set the left foot down to the ground, lunge. So we continue to work through this left side. I set the left knee down, the left hand down, and the right arm grabs the right thigh, squeezing, hugging. Our trunk turns to the right. As I press the left foot firmly to the ground. So I'm attempting to keep my big toenail on the ground. Now in my body, that feels like a rotation, a subtle rotating or spiraling of the leg to keep that big toenail contacting. That little spiraling action, if that's evident in your body, you can use that to finesse your breath into this really cool area where the abdomen becomes the hip bone, where the abdomen becomes the back tissue, the back becomes the hip. It's a really fascinating crossroads of structure all around this abdomen, hip, back area. Right, inhaling, unwind. Now when we step back up, it's for vertical splits. So I'm bringing 2 blocks into play, curling the back toes under, exhaling first, the back knee comes up. I shift my weight forward. Next, the left leg comes up. So using all of that leg, that rotation, that reach, the muscles that's turning all that on, lifting the leg up, out. If your hands are on the ground or on the block, reach the elbows down. And inhale, set that left foot down to the ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. Step right foot back, lowering. Inhale, upward dog. And exhaling, downward dog. And we'll give our downward dog a few additional breaths. To feel the neck relax. To feel the arms fully energized, engaged, straightening. To feel the upper back broaden. To lift the sit bones away from the upper back. Inhale, step the left foot forward, warrior one. Now with our warrior one, I'm saying work the back leg quite energetically, quite vibrantly. So as I'm engaging those right quads, yes, I see it, good. Then I can continually bend the left knee and I'll find a new edge. As I continually deepen into the stance, I keep stretching those legs out. I take some breaths. I let breath work its way into that new threshold. And then I might, as I'm exhaling, I might find there's a tiny bit more space or margin. And then I mix a little bit more breath in with that new configuration, that new tension, that new threshold. I keep suffusing each moment with breath, right? The substance of our being, the movement substance of our being. How do I keep bringing that into every scenario, every set of conditions? And these last couple of breaths, warrior one, use the arms, lift up, but also as you're reaching back, let that turn on those upper back muscles. So you're getting just that little micro bend, that shoulder blade, that back of heart area. Very cool. You notice you have to use your inner legs to get to that upper back. Or at least I feel that connection between the inner thighs and that upper back. All right, half moon. Inhale, come upright. Left hand goes to ground, a little to the outside and a little in front. Elevate right leg, exhale, reach back. Now, as I'm getting into the half moon, right, we can start to address this right hip bone area where the abdomen flesh becomes the hip bone, becomes the back tissue. So as you're turning that right hip bone into the space behind you. So it does take some butt muscles for sure. There it is. And you'll decide how you reach through the foot. They'll each have unique effect. You can access more the front of the pelvis and the abdomen by reaching through the forefoot. And you can access more the back side of the body by reaching through the heel. And if you have back issues, little twinges or something, protect your back. Use the heel reach. Inhale, set the right foot down behind you for lunge. Set the right knee down, the right hand down. And it's here, exhaling, left arm hugs left thigh as we squeeze, turn, and the right side is foregrounded. And bringing that breath, that movement, and just letting it wash through all of these instances of being embodied. Letting the breath penetrate deeply. That's a function of perception and sensing than it is of work, force, or effort. So it's kind of a willingness to feel deeply. That breath can be absorbed or penetrate deeply. Inhale, unwinding, and here's vertical splits. Setting the hands down first, exhale the back knee off the ground. You can step a little closer, inhaling, lifting the right leg toward the sky, exhale, outreach. And inhale, place that right foot down, exhaling for chaturanga. Stepping back, lowering. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. And expand breath's reach. Again, it's not so much a function of effort, like I force my breath to go in or out or larger. It's more of a function of I adopt a broader way of sensing. I adopt a sensitivity for more layers, depth, breadth. It's a subtly expansive way of perceiving that the breath follows without any additional guidance or coaxing or nudging. Right. So let's gently set the knees down. Let's have a seat. And I'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Oh, I see, we're getting right up there. Okay, so I've got shoelace. I will be folding forward, and then, well, let's just fold forward for now. Keep the feet really active. And just ever so slightly, nudge your bottom thigh, which is your left thigh, outward and into the earth. And nudge your right thigh outward and into what would be your bottom foot. So it's kind of a opening outward, downward. Now use your hands and push or press, lengthen through the trunk. That outward and downward motion is coming from the butt area, the muscle butt area. It shouldn't be registering as a knee twinge. So there should be zero pain in the knees. And then inhaling, come upright, grab right foot, right big toe with your right hand. I'm grabbing the big toe. You could grab the outer edge. I'm grabbing the big toe. Like so. Okay. I'm drawing this knee back. So this would be option one. My right hand draws back like the bow and arrow. I'm drawing back my big toe. And my left hand helps hold me up. Option two is I can grab the left leg, big toe. Oops. So as I'm drawing the right one back, I'm straightening the left one out. So this does have you dancing a little bit on your butt. Yeah, so my left leg is straight. I'll change orientation so you can see. So I'm drawing the right leg back. Now use that inner left leg and reach to that inner leg. There you go. All right, I'll gently set that down. Let's change our pigeon. Nope, shoelace. So we've got our left leg on top, and we'll start with the fold. That's two moves. So for this particular shoelace today, I'm exerting an outward, downward reach or pressure. So my right thigh, I'm kind of turning, rolling out, sending into the earth. And my left thigh, I'm turning out, sending down into my foot area. Keeping the feet very active. And then when I come up for what is a, what to think of the name, there's a few names for this. I'm grabbing my left foot toe, and option one is just hold that and draw the knee back like you're drawing back a bow. For the most balance, I would just leave my right leg down, and I would even hold my shin just to pull the chest up so I get a nice kind of postural uplift. So I can just maintain just like so. The other option is I grab my right toe and I press through the ball of the right foot. Sometimes we've done this as a pin feather where we kind of stack the legs and wiggle up. It's got more of a bow and arrow feel, so I am pulling my left thigh toward the ground behind me. And I'm reaching my right leg into the sky in front of me. That's it. Yeah, look at it. Awesome. Keep lifting the chest up. I'm using my finger pulls. I'm doing a pull up, my chest toward my right foot. That's it. That's it. All right, gently set that down. We'll bring all of this wiggly fun to a Shavasana. So lie on your back, allowing those hips and those legs to feel supported on and in the earth. One of those beautiful things about following, staying with the breath, is we're staying with something that is intrinsically fluid. Something that only stops moving if we stop its movingness. Just feeling the movingness, the intrinsic movingness of the breath. Now, it's true, if we follow the intrinsic movingness of our breath, we may arrive at something that feels like a stillness. Which is entirely different than a holding something still or a stuckness or a grasp. Very different quality. You may feel your breath, that intrinsic movingness, finding a stillness. But note that that stillness is exquisitely vibrant. There's a fullness. In that stillness. When we feel this fullness of stillness in others, we often just call it presence. They have a real presence about them. When you're ready, bend knees, turn over to one side, and press yourself to seated. Namaste.